Make sure that you are educated in the things that you are talking about outside of that escape. Let's play some Mothfall. So this fortress is in a bit of a mess currently. There's kind of crap everywhere. And I think I'm going to make a Reddit thread for the stream today. I haven't done this in a while, so we're going to make a Reddit thread for the stream today. I go to / our Dwarf Fortress, and the first thing I see is, I hate necromancers now. You only just started? One necromancer went insane after a successful battle against a horde of goblins. He lost 3 dwarves and 40 soldiers out of 40 soldiers, and he resurrected every corpse outside of the fortress. I'm writing this as your fortress battle outside the walls against hundreds of corpses. Every battle I had, because I just pile the bodies outside in a mass grave like a pit. The civilians are stuck inside. 10-year-old fortress lost because a necromancer lost his wife and decided to kill everyone. There is yet hope, but my military is losing the battle. Still tired from the last battle. Nevermore. I will purge every necromancer heretic from now on. Also, sorry for the bad English. You know what? Damn straight. Could not agree more. Also, this response is pretty great. Every battle, because I just pile the bodies outside like a mass grave. I mean, if I was a necromancer, I would make your fortress my vacation home knowing that. You gotta clean those battlefields, man. Gotta clean them battlefields. Oh, absolutely. I've had entire fortresses of friendly zombies and vampires. And, no, not vampires. Friendly zombies and necromancers. Yeah, you absolutely can do it. It just requires game knowledge, more or less. Yeah, also, fun fact about necromancers is they only resurrect things when they're scared or feel threatened. They're like a cat. They only bite you when they're scared or feel threatened. A very good trick to know is drown people. So basically, the best way to turn people into zombies in Dwarf Fortress, right? Build a fortification, build a window. On the other side of that fortification / window, put your necromancer, okay? And then on the other side of all of that, put your dwarves, and then drown them, the dwarves. When you drown the dwarves, they then all turn into zombies, and then you have a big old gurgle bin of zombies full of water, zombie soup, that is, and everything is peachy. It's great. Weenado? What's a Weenado? You know what? I've changed my mind about making a Reddit thread. We're good. But, all that being said, window? Oh, window. You know, I do say window. Window. Speaking of cleaning battlefields, we're still doing that. Welcome to Mothfall. A fortress that's doing all right. A fortress made primarily out of above ground construction, which has been quite fun so far. The fuck is that? A swarm of acorn flies. Ew. We are building above ground construction. So this is our little living space up here. We are on the edge of a big old precipice. Down at the bottom of said precipice is big old river. There is enough dead things in the little creek at the top of the river that there's actually blood actively flowing over the waterfall here. You can even see the little red bits. See, if I zoom in some more, see? A little red. That's blood. Troglodyte blood and dwarf blood. It's a mix. So we have multiple types of blood flowing over the waterfall. Just because things have died above here and it's stained the edges of this. Now, you may notice the door here is locked. You may also notice that the door here is also locked. You may also notice that the door here is also locked. Why are they locked, you might ask? Well, let me do tell you. Over here we have Ikalardostukt Usnomi Maga, the Forgotten Beast, a giant blob composed of mud. It has a long curly tail and it squirms and fidgets. Beware its deadly dust. Now, normally this wouldn't be a problem at all. Blob composed of mud, poke it with a spear, it pops like a bubble. No problem, right? Issue. Its deadly dust makes it impossible for you to breathe. So, you get into range of it, you get covered in its deadly dust, your throat closes up, you go, and then 2 seconds later you keel over and die. It killed almost an entire squad like this. Normally these are some of the weakest Forgotten Beasts in the game. This one, on the other hand, seems to be a problem. Now, there's several things we could do with this. I could train up a bunch of ranged dwarves and try and shoot arrows at it. That's good to know. Thank you for refueling weeb trash, Kravicus. You've done your work. This is what we pay you for. So wasn't he below in a cave? Oh yeah, absolutely. But because I am setting Mothfall up for fun, intentionally, by fun I mean catastrophe and calamity, obviously I didn't seal off the caves. So, I mean, there's a dead dwarf right there. This is the caves that it was in. So absolutely, yeah, it was down in the caves. I thought it died, so I went back down there, and then it came flying out. So, now it's in a tree, which it can probably get down from. So, currently what we are doing is we're just kind of waiting and chilling, and hoping that, somebody shows up to, try and trade or fight or something, and then we can, turn them into a fine paste, hopefully. So that's currently what's up with the fortress. Let it die of old age. Unfortunately, that's not possible. Oh, it's definitely weaponized mud. So because it's all the way over there and in a tree, means sap. Well, that's fitting. So currently we're waiting for goblins to show up and deal with it for us instead of us needing to deal with it. So that is the current plan. The issue is we are locked inside of this very tiny, whiny little fort. So, up until now, the way we've built this fortress is I've gone down to here and we've been digging down in this quarry, right? This is where we've been digging up until now. So instead of that, what we're going to do is we're going to go into the room with our tavern, which is this room right here with our tavern and temple, go down into the middle here, and I'm going to make some downstairs. We're going to not go all the way down to where we were, but we're going to go down deep enough that we can do stuff again. That's what we're going to do. Just so that we can keep building the insides of this fortress, and we're going to keep training the military and all that jazz, and just do our best to not, wait, it was sacrilegious? Making a stairway is sacrilegious? Excuse me? So that's what we're doing. We are, digging, as they say. Digging down in an overground fort? I don't believe that was ever part of any religion that I've ever been a part of. As sacrilegious. Just gotta be honest. I don't believe that was ever considered sacrilegious. But we do have some named dwarves in the fort, so I should probably check in with who those are. Currently, the named dwarves are Wuchi, Darren Letharticus, Stone, Nox, Pink Fluffy Llama, Meg, Yuma, Cussy, Hatchington, Reza, Bloodcat, Freeways, and of course, Mark. If you didn't hear your name get read, it means you were probably one of the military dwarves that died, or one of the other poor souls that died in the process of that Forgotten Beast being remembered suddenly and violently. So that is the current status of things. We're just digging down to the layers with granite so that we can... Ooh, we struck native silver? That's neat. We're going to go down like maybe 2 or 3 more layers. Which one is this? That's nice. A little further down. Shiny. There's lots of galena and silver in this map, so not too out of the ordinary, but... And of course, if you would like a dwarf, or if you'd like me to check in on your dwarf, just let me know. Can you know how pink is doing? Absolutely. Spoilers, I don't think pink is actually pink, fluffy, or a llama, but I can absolutely see how pink, fluffy llama is doing. Well, first off, you have 4 notable kills and 14 other kills. Hey, Tygo. I mean, is it fair for me to say that you do it to yourself by using Linux? Just like I get all of the, like, I can't complain about Windows problems because I willingly use Windows? Unless this is a situation where, like, you have to use Linux for work or something. But good to see you. Hope that things have been all right. He feels fondness when speaking with an acquaintance and enraptured after communing with Fountain Clean, the birth of yearlings, which I can't remember. What's the god of that? Fountain Clean, the birth of yearlings is the god of birth, creation, rebirth, and death. Huh. Listen, this is interesting. The Buds of Cleaning was created by Eurus Red Octobear in Bulbous Aboard in order to glorify Nukkor. So it seems like a Red Octobear recently created whatever the fuck the Buds of Cleaning is. Apparently that dwarf saw a lot of death but didn't care. Yeah, that tends to happen. I don't believe I said Knuckles at any point. Enjoy your lurks, Fez. But yeah, that's how your dwarf is doing. Pretty good, I would say. But as we continue to carve down, traumatized. Well, that would be by seeing a giant sponge die, right? I found a mod for the old obsidian tile set, not relatively recently, but at one point, I found a mod that oh, that's diorite. To go down to granite. All right, well, let's go down to granite then. I found a mod for the old obsidian tile set relatively recently that that requires DF hack, but it makes giant sponges into SpongeBob. That's all it does. It gives giant sponges a unique sprite and makes them into SpongeBob, which is fantastic as far as I'm concerned, and maybe the best mod for the game, up there with the Mushroom Kingdom mod. You know, I'm kind of surprised there isn't like a Under the Sea like SpongeBob pack. Sounds like a perfect mod. It's a mandatory mod if you use Obsidian, that's for sure. I have to carve some holes in this. Just want this to look like a natural dugout, you know? I am also completely aware I do not need to dig supports, but I'm going to do it anyway, because I like the look of them. All right, let's go digging. What'd you miss? We only just got started, so not a whole lot. We are besieged by a forgotten beast in the corner of the map that I really don't want to fight, so I'm waiting for the next goblin siege to deal with it for me. And we are currently digging down and making a under the fort quarry so that we can still get stone without leaving the walls. I didn't want to do this, but I'm kind of in the position now where if I want to keep building in the fort, we have to do this, so. Is the blob still in the tree? I'm assuming so. Yep, it's moved, but it's still in a tree. It's just a different tree now. All right, well, we should be able to start making granite blocks again pretty soon. Damn, that's a lot of ore. Is this all Galena, I'm assuming? Make a proper modding API? I mean, he talked about, like, APIs and such and then said something about, that'd be nice, during the last time I spoke with him, I think. It sounds like something he wouldn't mind doing, but I think that there needs to be, one, a reason for it to be done, and two, the time for it to be done. I don't know why he would necessarily need to collaborate with the DF hack guys to do that. I would almost prefer he didn't collaborate with them and then just did it his own way. But, I don't know. I also just don't like the way DF hack works. I think it'd be better if we just had a modding API that was disconnected from DF hack. But that's just me. There we go. Dwarves are all making blocks again, which is what we need. Because that'll allow us to continue working on the housing layer on the above section, which is truly what we need. Going to get this mined out as well. I'm just going to keep an eye on it, see where it goes. It might connect down to the waterfall down there, and if it does, then I need to deal with that quickly. You know, Rutile and Galena look almost identical to me. There's like a very slight difference between the two. According to the Raws, the giant sponge can not only be tamed, but even ridden as a war beast by invaders. I've never seen them tamed by war beasts, and I don't know how to catch them. My mayor is mandating the creation of socks. You know what? This is probably not a bad idea. I should have enough. Yeah, hold on. How much? What do I even have for cloth right now? How much silk do I have? 225. Actually, quite a bit of cave spider silk cloth. All right. I seem to only have one pick in the fort right now, which is kind of a problem. How many bars do we have? Iron bars? Let's make iron pick 3. There's my chameleon person. So yeah, last time we played this fort, we mostly just fought with forgotten beasts. We mostly just fought with forgotten beasts. That we didn't see any enemy sieges. So We'll be curious to see what happens today. Considering... This is always interesting to see, too. These guys are invading Hotbeards right now. Hotbeards is currently under siege. But they seem to be holding pretty strong. Granted, I do wonder how many these guys are sending to attack Hotbeards. I am your ruler. Heed my commands. Tell us what to do. I demand production of socks. Wait, what? Really? Socks? Okay. I mean, he wants the fuzzy ones. Don't you, like, don't... You understand when, like, somebody asks for fuzzy socks for Christmas? This is that equivalent, but in Dwarf Fortress. He's just like, I want fuzzy socks for Christmas. Gimme. Yeah, not just normal socks. Spider silk socks. Well, I mean... Hell yeah, exactly. Hell yeah, fuzzy socks. Fuck yeah, fuzzy socks. Oh, true. Yeah, I didn't think about backwards compatibility. But the problem is, like, the way DF hack works is kind of terrible. You know, like running an external piece of software to control a game. I think if we just had a proper modding API, that would be better than DF hack. Admittedly, it may not work with backwards compatibility, but I think that would proper modding API that doesn't require DF hack, I think would be a better outcome. It definitely is. It's very hacky, and I think that the premium versions of Dwarf Fortress, the advantage it has is it feels a lot less hacky than Dwarf Fortress does. Like, Dwarf Fortress always kind of feels a little bit hacky, just because of the nature of it being, you know, ASCII and a super in-depth game. About baking DF hack into DF without additional apps needed, I would be vehemently against that. So, no. That's all I have to say to that is no. DF hack absolutely has useful tools, but I don't think it should ever be baked into the game. Like, there's a reason, like, just as an example, right? Terraria exists, and it's a great game. I'm looking for a thing. But T-Mod Loader is a separate thing on Steam, right? That requires Terraria to work. So Terraria is one thing, T-Mod Loader is a second thing. DF hack shouldn't be baked into Dwarf Fortress, just like T-Mod Loader isn't baked into Terraria. It just shouldn't be there. Are giant sponges edible? Are giant sponges butcherable? I don't even know. I've never successfully hunted one. I always just kind of ignore them and forget that they exist pretty quickly. So I don't know. I'm not in that camp. I'm sorry. I can't side with you there. I can kind of see where you're coming from, but I can't side with you there. That being said, DF hack should get its own Steam page. The very thought of riding a sponge boggles your mind. I mean, they don't really move, do they? Like, I always thought the giant sponges just stayed in one place forever. They cannot be butchered? Well, there you go. Giant sponges cannot be consumed. Just ridden into battle somehow. I mean... The weirdest things I've ever fought were these necromancer creatures that were literally just a ball of flesh with a tail and mandibles. I don't know if that... And we fought with them. We won. Pretty easily, actually. So, you know... in that world. We certainly won. Find other dwarves with no jobs whatsoever. Give them jobs. Need some more miners. Screw all of these woodcutters. We're also trying to get more of these bedrooms done. Dwarves making granite blocks. Cab, rock, 30. Make these out of rutile. Yeah, I know weirdly little about giant sponges in DF because I've never really tried to learn about giant sponges. I've killed them a couple of times, but I just kind of ignore them usually. Probably pair with dragon soap. I have actually made dragon soap. Although, chat, what is the weirdest soap you've ended up making in Dwarf Fortress? I think there's something to be said about the frequency at which I have puppy soap in my fort that says something about me. That and like kitten soap. Oh, also speaking of cats and kittens, check this out. I don't think there's anything for me to actually read, Abacus. But I can try. High chairs are lofty thrones for several kittens. Surprised beer glass enthusiast make money by screaming at fools. A winning ghost. I don't own a cat. I just currently have a cat in the apartment. Says... There's no expectations. So last night, when I was going to bed, I got into bed, laid down, and I pulled the blanket up to, like, you know, go to sleep, right? As you do. And I hear this thunk. And I sit up, and I look to the end of the bed, and I realize that the cat was lying on the chair at the end of my bed, where I knew he was, had somehow managed to get one claw stuck in the blanket, and just had his claw, like, under his armpit, and, like, stretched up this way, attached to the blanket, and was obviously, like, very perplexed as to what was happening. Like, he kind of had no idea. He's like, hand stuck. So I'd go over there and undo it, and then he batted at me. I was like, fuck you, man. I just helped you. There a dwarf available for you, preferably one who isn't depressed, since that's a problem with long death. I mean, there's dozens of dwarves. Just tell me what job you want, Aqua. I totally missed that. I apologize. But just tell me what you want, and I can absolutely help you out with that. Also, if anybody's feeling generous, today is the last stream of the week, meaning streamers got to hustle a little bit, and there's 2 free open slots on that leaderboard for gift subs, meaning you only have to gift 1 sub to get a number next to your name. Streamers got to sell out a little bit. Or, of course, you know, if you want sound commands, there's a menu over on the Patreon. Read the memes channel? I don't know. I won't do that. Sorry. Probably a crafter or a miner. Well, I mean, there isn't any miners available, so I'll give you... How does Falu Pentine sound? Who I need to make a new cloak and hood for. This is one of my adventurers. Then last season was euphoric due to inebriation, but was bored after being able to wander for too long. 30 years old, born on the 8th of Glenna in the year 145. He's a citizen of the Misty Howl and a citizen of the Crimson Pulley and a member of the Rough Company. Was traveling with Saba Styleworth. Now, of course, Saba Styleworth is my other chameleon person. You're my chameleon clother. He is short and incredibly fat. His scales are striped orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, violet, and violet, and his eyes are black. Like others in his culture, he holds nature to be of greater value than most aspects of civilization, and is truly values merrymaking and parties, values family, and values cunning, and values a harmonious existence and sees competition as reasonably important. Personally believes that those who sacrifice for others should be deeply respected, and greatly respects individuals that persevere through their trials and labors, respects commerce, and respects power, and dreams of seeing the great natural places of the world, is easily moved to mercy, and often conflicted by this, since he sees these tendencies as an impediment to the quest for power, cracks easily under pressure, and has a sense of duty, and tends to form only tenuous emotional bonds with others, tends to not reveal personal information, and tends to avoid any physical confrontations. He is slow to trust others and brave in the face of imminent danger. When he becomes exasperated, he begins to speak very deliberately. He does not mind being outdoors, at least for a time, and doesn't really care about anything anymore. You're my chameleon man. Also, let's say cloth cloak 2. Specify size. Or that. Hood 2. Specify size for chameleon man. And Bedrock, I just want to say a real quick massive thank you for being the very first resub of the day. Welcome back for our 14th month. It's the first notification of money of the stream. 2.5 hours in. Big thank you. Cheers. There you go. Well, I mean, not caring doesn't mean they're not happy. Like, this character doesn't care about anything, but they're euphoric due to inebriation, satisfied at work, content after eating a fine dish, and delighted after watching a performance on repeat a bunch of times. Yeah, different sizes of creatures require different clothing sizes. All the animal people have different clothing size requirements and can't even equip clothing unless they have clothing to their specified size. Yeah, it's kind of a mess. Humans, dwarves, and goblins all have different size requirements. Elves have different size requirements. Yeah, it's a mess. But yeah, just because they don't care about anything anymore doesn't mean they're not happy, right? It just means that they are numb to violence, basically. Yeah, it means that they've seen a lot of death and violence. But you can still be happy after seeing a lot of death and violence. Always choose the most ridiculous option you'll get. Yes. Always choose the most ridiculous option. You'll have the most interesting outcomes. Oops. I've got this set to marker only. Headed to bed, Kravicus. Well, we will see you Tuesday, hopefully. Or when you wake up, depending on when you wake up. I mean, I don't know how long you normally sleep or if you have time to watch tomorrow, but odds are pretty good. If you sleep for about 6 to 8 hours, I'll be on when you wake up. You have succumbed to the power of the butter biscuits. I'll bless the butter biscuits for allowing you to sleep. And seriously, Bedrock, thank you very much for resubbing for a 14th month. Helping keep this weird channel funded. Money this month has been weird. So I really appreciate it. Let's do this. Kind of smoothing that. And yeah, I'm aware I don't need to build these little supports, but I don't know. I've started doing this and I really like the look of it, so. Just leaving little pillars for stuff in place to place. It just looks nice. Let's just make sure that my chameleon people are equipping those. I need a clothing stockpile. Might actually put that down underground. Hey, you know what? Let's go down to like right here. Should be able to dig that out. I know the aquifer is on this level, but should be able to just dig through that. We'll make this into a clothing / armor stockpile. You know, honestly, Tygo, kind of expanding on that statement of when asking about DF, always choose the most ridiculous option. You'll 90% of the time be right. Either choose the most ridiculous option or the most unnecessarily overly complicated option. And what's even funnier about the unnecessarily overly complicated option is 90% of the time you'll be right until you're not. You know what I mean? Like 90% of the time you'll absolutely be right until you're 1,000% not right. You know what I mean? It's just like, well, obviously this works in the most complicated way possible until it's just the most mundane, least interesting, most boring option. It's like, of course, bees are the most ridiculously overly complicated thing ever because they got a lot of development time, but, you know, cows are just large animal with teeth equip. Maybe horns if they're a bull. Also, because I don't think this has been done yet. Investments are open, chat. I'm just editing the layout of my dashboard real quick. Can't I save this? So yeah, this will be just our clothing / everything else stockpile. A lot of people say that you wouldn't give I wouldn't give Windows so much shit for breaking the way Linux does, but hell I know if Windows was doing the same stuff my Linux PC does, I'd go personally strangle Bill. You seem to have a love-hate relationship with Linux. That's for sure. Like, Windows breaks in some pretty miraculous ways. Uh-oh. I'll do some tat. Has risen and is haunting the fortress. Well, that's not good. Well, a slab has been engraved, so see if I can place it. We should also make some new slabs. Let's just make them all out of conglomerate. Will he follow suit with the other ghost? I hope so. The pants stealing ghost was great. I kind of wish that somebody clipped that one, actually. The pants stealing the pants thieving ghost bit was pretty great. Let's just do an armor stockpile and we'll just allow clothing. Is that under finished goods? Do leg wear. Backpacks. Handwear. Headwear. Headwear, handwear. Footwear, armor. There we go. That's going to be a lot of stuff to put away. Hey, I actually won. What is this madness? Good on the last minute investment, by the way. Aqua. There we go. I don't think that that ghostly carpenter had a chance to actually do anything. Oh, apparently there was also a ghost for Red Octobear. Whoops. I don't recall Red Octobear dying, but... both Aquas invested and both Aquas lost. But, I don't know what that has to do with me winning necessarily, but... That's why you be like this? You know, you're probably not wrong. Aren't you supposed to ask if I'm winning, son? I'm always winning when I'm playing Dwarf Fortress. Dwarf Fortress is just an inevitable pathway to the final win state, which is, the fortress has left the hands of your meticulous concern, or whatever the exact wording is. Fortress has exited a brief period of questionable judgment. Where is the blob? I'm assuming it hasn't moved. Yeah, it hasn't moved. It doesn't have anything to path to. It won't move until there's something for it to murder on the map. If I had to guess. My faction, my last fortress is currently getting attacked by goblins. This red line on this screen shows a line coming from here and attacking my old fort. A little worried about them. Hopefully they're doing okay. Be real weird if they took over control of my old fort. Man, with hoodie on, way too warm. With hoodie off, way too cold. That time of year where it's like, I don't quite want to turn the heat on anymore because it's like not cold enough to have the heat on, but I also don't own long sleeve shirts, so I don't wear any long sleeve shirts. About my old fort or just in general? I hope that that worry is replaced by something less worrisome in the future. Worry is an unpleasant emotion. No. Thank you. You guys are all way much more cat people than I am. Cats actively annoy me. I don't mind them, but certainly nowhere near as much of a cat person as Twitch chat. Spring has arrived. Maximum warmth. This is just a thing for like sitting down. If a cat is on my lap, it's not going to make my upper torso any warmer. And if I'm trying to sleep, a cat sleeping on me makes it absolutely impossible to sleep, so. Cannot do that. Fortunately, though, this guy doesn't really like sleeping on me. It's good. Currently, I'm very annoyed with this cat, though, because my entire apartment right now has, like, a very fine layer of cat litter and cat hair all over it. Even though I swept yesterday and the day before, it's back already. I don't mind cat sitting, but my God, I cannot wait for him to go home. Cats in small apartments are a terrible combination. I tolerated it for 6 years, and I don't ever want to do that again. You hear cats making more cats through closed windows? Wait. Are they outside? Or is one cat on one side of the window and one's on the other side of the window? I'm assuming that you're referring to you're hearing two cats fucking through a closed window, not two cats fucking through a closed window. Because this is giving me very strange mental images right now. I feel like I need clarification. But yeah, I could imagine why that would be annoying. Yeah, it's like a cat glory hole, exactly. Okay, they're outside. Okay, that makes sense. A couple days ago there was this was before this guy was staying here. I had my window open and I heard a cat fight in the middle of the night. I mean, I'm kind of imagining like, oh yay! Fucking finally, a vile force of darkness has arrived. All right, so excellent. We are being sieged by the goblin hordes of the Hate of Praises, our mortal enemy. Zzz. Looks like they've brought trolls, goblins, and beak dogs. And now we go see if the blob is moving. Well, shit. Let's watch the army slowly. Damn, there's a lot of them. Well, they can't get into the fortress right now, so there is that. Damn, there's a... That is a full force invasion. Aren't trolls always named when they come in? Pretty sure they are. None of them have titles. Don't see any intelligent undead. That poor beak dog recruit there at the bottom. Man. Up at the front of the pack, too. I'll have you know that there are no cows that are considered saints in this fortress currently. Also, Haas, I hope you've been well. Did you ever get around to playing that new Jupus patch, Haas? It's so good. Let's see if Blobby has moved. This thing does have a tendency to just kind of sit and lie wait, so give it time. Yeah. New Jupus patch. Because it's so good. So good. Now, this is one brave Gobby. Brave in the face of imminent danger, clearly, this one. So, the benefit of the caverns just being an open hole is these guys might just go running into the caverns. I'm very worried that this Forgotten Beast is stuck in this tree, though. Because it is on the wrong side of the river, and I don't actually think they have a way across. Yeah, no, they super duper don't. So, That is... Jeez. Sneezing more than usual? Why is that? Is it allergy season where you're at? I feel like it moved to a different place in this tree. Let's just watch this guy for a little bit, see what he does. The river's right in front of them. They should be line of sight for him pretty soon. But yeah, maybe you need to start cleaning more. You need like a dust screen around your face and side. Sometime in the future, you want to make chained traps like an evil genius. I mean, Dwarf Fortress kind of is medieval fantasy evil genius to a degree. At times, it certainly has that style of gameplay. Yeah, I mean, it does move occasionally. Rube Goldberg devices? Kind of, yeah. Well, where's the majority of the goblin force currently? Maybe going for the giant snail. I should have built a bridge across here. I didn't think that we'd need it, though. Oh, and one of my dwarves has been possessed. My brewer, in fact. Uh-oh. What a time for a possession. Grabs a single log. Grabs another log. Guess we don't need to worry about cave adaptation because we are nice and safe and above ground. Yeah, the timing. It better be about this siege. Or involve the murder of big monsters somehow. Well, I mean, for some reason I was expecting that to require more, but petrified gizzard stones and then 2 pieces of wood. Yeah, looks like the invaders are all just wandering down and into the caverns. I mean, not really what I had in mind, guys. Forgotten Beastie has moved just slightly. I mean, this would take way too long. I could dig underneath him and cave in the tree that it's standing on. We could also theoretically lock the Goblin Siege in the caverns. Nope. Well, they can't get into the fort via the caverns. That is not a way into the caverns. This is the only entrance to the caverns. The Goblobber? That like a gobstopper? Alright, where? Damn, that is such a big army. Can they climb upstairs to a wall that they could climb? There is no way for them to get into my fort via climbing. Just trust me. There is no way into the fort. I know how to seal off a fort. There is no way for them to get into my fort. But they're going down here because there's things for them to kill down there. It's to the point where, like, it almost feels like they're not even trying to attack me. They're just like, oh, there's a way into the caverns. We shall enter. That is such a big fucking army, though. Man, could you imagine if we just had a way of drowning them in there? It'd be such a funny fucking drowning trap. All right, so what I'm thinking is I dig down to here on this side, right here. And then I build a little bridge going across. Then I lock my dwarves back inside and seal ourselves back in. That's what I think we do. So what I'm going to do is, because we're right here right now, right? I'm going to dig this way. And we're going to seal that off with, or make a sealable spot for with a lever. Let's say put a lever right there. Maybe these dwarves are underground. Go to the cat. Pretty much. They're just like, oh, well, there's this very conspicuous wall here. Well, there's also a stairway going down. We shall go down then. Also, Asob Idken, the brewer, has created Arto Bagosh, a teawood crown, and claims it as an heirloom in the name of the family ancestor, Kodal Angel Trumpet. And Asob, you've earned yourself a nickname with that one because I feel creative. Asob is going to be King T because it's a teawood crown. A teawood crown. He feels satisfied after crafting an artifact, but frustrated after being unable to acquire something. 57 years old, born on the 2nd of Galena in the year 119. He is weak and very long sideburns are neatly combed. He has a long mustache that is neatly combed and very long beard. Sounds great. Dreams of crafting a great work of art in this dream was realized. Very quick to anger and tends to avoid any physical confrontations. Pretty good little dwarf. Back to more important things. What if they find a way into the fort through the caverns? For the 1,567 millionth time, there is no way into the fort via the caverns. But, it's worth 4,800. Combined Hollow is the name of it. It is a teawood crown. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It is encrusted with rectangular petrified wood cabochons. And this object menaces with spikes of teawood. On the item is an image of a loom in tower cap. Would be fun if the goblins find the mother of the glob monster. I'm hoping that they find the glob monster, and I'm gonna try and make sure that they find the glob monster, you know? Imagine goblin siege miners. I'm good. That sounds like hell, actually. Oh, they're fighting with a blind cave ogre. Well, that's good. Actually, you know what? I got an even better idea. But it is planned, yes. Enemies being able to dig is something that Tarn has been throwing around the idea of for a long time. All right, well, let's work on this tunnel. Let's make it look nice. But, you know, it's also one of those things where he's just like, but also, how do we make that fun? So that's the reason they don't do that yet, is because it's like, balancing. No, Tarn doesn't like that you can just turn your fort into a closed tin can. But also, he's admitted that, like, goblins just being able to dig might not be the most fun mechanic. I'm more Team Goblin Ladder. You know, like, I just wish the goblins had better scouts and tools to prepare. Like, a much more, like, what if, like, a troll could just throw goblin? That's what I actually want. I just want the goblins to just, like, practice their baseball techniques and just bring bats and goblin launchers and just fucking launch the goblins into your fort. That's what I really want. And then if you dig underground and live entirely in a very dwarfy inhabitants where nothing can get to your living space, at that point, then maybe, yeah, we need to teach them how to dig. But one thing at a time, you know? Yeah, that too. Or like, maybe like, maybe they bring a battering ram, which can knock down a gate, you know, or doors, even if they're locked, stuff like that. That's kind of the more the direction I want, but I'm sure Dwarf will come up, or I'm sure Tarn will come up with a dwarfy response and option. I have faith. Yeah, well, maybe not mechanics to disarm traps, but you know what I would like? I would love, because, like, goblins already send spies, right? I would love to, like, see one of my guests just, like, tampering with my traps and disabling them, and then having to catch them, you know, like, that sort of thing. I would love that. Like, imagine having to stop somebody from tampering with your traps. That would just be kind of great. So we'll connect to this. I need a better way to get down here anyway, so it makes sense. I need that bridge to be done before I can actually connect anything, because we're going to need to seal this off quick. Where's the majority of these goblins? Oh, damn. Oh, damn, that's a lot of dead blind cave ogres. They're in, like, the lower levels of the caverns. They are just murdering everything in the caverns. Those poor troglodytes, man. Gosh. Are you talking about in real life or in Dwarf Fortress mods? I mean, Tarn's talked about this a number of times. Like, stuff that damages terrain is interesting, but a concern for background simulation stuff. the reason it's a concern for background simulation stuff is if your fort gets sieged when you're an adventurer, do you come back and chunk of wall missing or nah? Which is the concern that Tarn wants to work through, because Tarn likes to overthink problems, right? But I don't know. It's a hard thing to speculate about because Tarn's talked about it at length, so like kind of what Tarn wants to do is pretty clear, I think. But it's also something that's like still kind of far off, unfortunately. It's just it's just not the focus of the game currently. If you had a human diplomat, okay, I mean, like, yes, there are ways that, like, the game could mechanically make that work right now, but it wouldn't be an engaging method, right? But, like, you know, having to set up, like, let's just say watchdogs to keep an eye on your traps would be fun. But, yeah, I know what you mean. I know what you mean. And, like, the goblins already send spies and try and corrupt your dwarves to commit a coup and all that stuff. But, I don't know, maybe that's something that could be crammed into villains to a degree. Maybe we should pester Tarn about that. But I also feel like that's one of those, the issue with something like that is it would cause frustration, you know? Which I think is like a concern for a lot of mechanics like that, is like, you can very easily see how that could cause a ridiculously large amount of just frustration. The difficulty is making mechanics like that fun, I guess. Like, how do you create an enjoyable mechanic with sending spies and having a traitor open doors from the inside? Sounds like a perfect solution, actually. I mean, yeah, that is something that Tarn has talked about, but it's a matter of improving the justice system as it currently sits and explaining the justice system better, and also expanding the interrogation system, and also theoretically then at that point just like removing visitors entirely would completely negate that mechanic. So I don't know. It's an idea that's been talked about. Like, I recommend, if you haven't, Tygo, listen to the first few Future of the Fortress episodes, because Tarn does talk about what he wants to do with sieges at length in those. And there's a lot of interesting bits of information there. Let's see if our blob has moved. Still in the tree. Mm-hmm. I think that there's a issue. I think that visitors need to be tweaked before any of these changes get made. Like, I think ooh. The party gets bigger. I think it's a multi-step solution. I don't think it's just a add this mechanic solution, you know? I think that more things need to be put in place before it makes sense to do stuff like that. But considering people already talk about how hard this game is all the time, and the only people that I really see talking about Dwarf Fortress needing changes like this are people who play it a lot, who are already very good at the game. I think right now the game needs to focus on improving the experience for new players and keeping players around and not making the game harder, you know? While I do agree those are issues that need to be addressed, I think Tarn is currently addressing the major issue, which is accessibility. The Minotaur, Oxap, Oxmoxmoxo, Mat, Ongongruko. Hold on, let's try that again. The Minotaur, Oxasp, Oxmat, Ongorkuno has come. A giant humanoid monster with the head of a bull. Oxap Sword Hearts. No, because Dwarf Fortress doesn't have a difficulty cliff. Dwarf Fortress has an accessibility cliff, and they are fixing that issue right now. Once that is done, I think then we can start pestering Tarn for changes like that. But yes, I do agree. He is average in size and his hair is brown. His skin is burnt umber and his eyes are black. And he is naked. How long do you think that this Minotaur has been chasing that goblin army? This Minotaur probably just like got scent of the beak dogs and is just like, man, I'm gonna go get me some of that. I want some of that beak and some of that dog. Not necessarily in that order, but did he show up for clothes? He just wants pants. Hey, Smexy. Unfortunately, Smexy, you have to change your name to Smexy Minotaur in this instance because vampire isn't the most relevant currently. Alrighty, Minotaur. Go get him. He's not gonna live very long. There's no way this ends well for this Minotaur. Man, they are all underground. Chat, I've got a question. Does this Minotaur get 1 kill on a goblin? Oh my god. The Minotaur found Snag. Yes, it does. All right, does it get 2 kills on a goblin? Well, he killed 1 goblin. There goes Snag, the straggler, the snaggler. And he's dead. I'm pretty sure that was his only kill. Yeah, it was his only kill. Well, rest in peace, Minotaur. You would have expected more kills. Minotaurs and Giants, shockingly weak in Dwarf Fortress. Like, shockingly weak. He did get at least 1. Yes, this is true. He wasn't a total disappointment, just mostly a disappointment. Cool game, is it new? If it's current, is that a joke? Actually, I genuinely can't tell. What year is it? 2006? Yes, brand new game. There you go. What's up, 2Pro? Also, I have to stalk usernames sometimes, right? You've been following me since 2017. This is your first time talking in the chat since 3 days after I got dumped. Well, man. 4 days after I got dumped. It's been a long time since you tuned in. I don't know if you've changed your name, but they are bullying a Gorlak right now. Those assholes. A DF labyrinth? I need to make more labyrinths. Sadness summons you? By that logic, you should have been summoned 2 years ago. But, or maybe at the beginning of 2020 instead of just the end of 2019, but Welcome. Did you have a username before, or like have you changed your name? Because I don't recognize it, unfortunately. Sorry about that, but. Would you look at this? The blob is fighting with a snail. Maybe we don't need to build this bridge. You did not? All right. Well, then I guess I just don't recognize you. Anyway, welcome back to the stream for the first time in like 3 years. My memory ain't perfect, unfortunately. No, it's back up in a goddamn tree. Get down, you idiot. There you go. Do snails breathe? Because this one hasn't lost the ability to breathe. It does have all of the other symptoms. So the symptoms that the blob's dust gives my dwarves is exhaustion, sleepiness, drowsiness, tired, and inability to breathe. The giant snail's just sleepy. Do giant snails need to breathe in Dwarf Fortress? This is a genuine question that I do not know the answer to. Because, like, the hell? Oh no, they killed all the plump helmet boys. Giant escargot got something. They don't seem to have lungs when they butcher them. Chat, I don't think that snails in Dwarf Fortress need to breathe. Can't lose an ability you don't have. Weird. Did you just what internal organs did giant snails have? Stone, like, are you looking at the wiki? Photosynthesis? Oh, they're all just like quiet. They breathe through their skin. And you will be ashamed of your words and deeds, or something. Calm down, Kojima. Also, we get this extra little mist waterfall when they walk past, which is lovely. In a brief happy mood by walking this way. All right, well, let's just remove all of this all the way up to there. Use that as a way to extend it slightly. They've got 4 to 5 units of brain, 2 units of heart, 13 to 15 intestines, and 2 eyes. Hold on a second. I need to do a dumb Google search for the stupid. Do snails have lungs? Many snails have a well-vascularized lung derived from the mantle. It's the tissue that makes the body cavity and surrounds the internal organs. The mantle forms a thin-walled pouch that opens to the outside, and the air enters the pouch and oxygen diffuses into the blood. So they have, like... They have a hole in their body that opens up. They have a hole in their body that opens up and sucks air in? I'm learning more about snail anatomy right now that I feel comfortable with. So I guess because of that, we do. But I know it's called a mouth, the sky beast. Thank you. But like, no, this is like a hole. This would be like having a hole in your chest, like where Iron Man puts the battery that opens up and breathes. It'd be like having like a tummy hole that isn't your ass that breathes. Be like your belly button breathing your nose. Because they don't breathe through their mouth. And that's why, and because they don't have lungs, they're not affected by this. But, I mean, it didn't save it, because, like, the giant snail did die. I am slightly disturbed by this fact, regardless. As a mouth breather, I agree with this. I'm still disturbed. Today is a the username checks out, Snail SD. Username checks out. Okay, well, more blocks are coming. I'm not totally sure how I'm going to connect this. Now I'm curious. How did the giant snail end up dying? Oh. Waited too long. Announcements went away. Sad. Parallel lung is visible through the translucent shell and the brightest part of the yellow body whorl. Imagine having a part of your body called the whorl. They probably find out by cutting the eyes open and putting it under a microscope to find out that the required parts to see color and the like. I mean, it's just like they figured out that they can make mice breathe through their anus by lacerating their asshole. Sometimes to do science, you need to cut things. Oh, also, they're only capable of breathing through their anus if you lacerate their asshole and also jam a tube filled with liquid oxygen up their bum. That's a boring study. You're a boring study. Mice can breathe through their anus. So can pigs, actually. So can humans, in fact. Pigs and mice can breathe through their anus. Hold on, just let me find. There's the original article. There you go. It's not sodomizing, but it's definitely violating with pointy object. Definitely. You've seen a snail's heartbeat? Yeah, like in real life? I've never looked that closely at a snail, I don't think. This is going to require some pretty tricky timing. Oh, look, all the trees are blooming. It is spring. Jokes aside, though, essentially what it was there was a study that was in early pandemic that was just like, what are other ways that we can make you breathe to assist with like the lung problems that the COVID-19 virus was doing to your lungs. So to have an alternative way of helping people breathe that isn't through their lungs, they were looking at other ways of putting oxygen directly into the bloodstream. And the most efficient way of doing that is lacerating the anus cavity, shoving a tube up your ass, and basically firing liquid oxygen in there, which goes directly into your bloodstream and keeps your blood oxygenated and can keep you alive for another 2 days. So that's what that study was about. And 2 Pro for you. Thank you very much for the tier 1 subscription. Cheers. Second sub of the day. Big thanks. Second notification of the money of the day. Thank you. And you know, chat, they've now proven that they are in fact 2 Pro for you. First time you subbed in 5 years? Man, if I only subbed to somebody every 5 years, I would save so much fucking money. Legitimately, it is a better method to keep people breathing than any other assisted breathing methods that we have right now. You haven't ever visited their site, so why? There's a Chrome plugin that evades that, but the way I read that website, I literally open up an extra browser with Tor enabled and then just read it anyway. Or just turn on my VPN. But yeah, a lot of websites have gone that way because ad block is so prevalent. Unfortunately, websites need to pay employees, you know? Kind of hard to do that when they have no wait, what? So we're still under siege. But there's no goblins on the map. Excuse me? The fuck happened? Oh, I know why. They're still on the map. They're just in an area that I haven't explored yet. That's why. They're just down here, most likely. I don't know exactly how, what's it called? I don't know exactly how the New York Times' website's business model is these days, but... Yeah, they're in the unexplored caverns. Fighting cave ogres. I think all 3 of the cavern layers are connected. I think. So they may actually be in the 3rd cavern layer right now. But yeah, that's why sites like the New York Times have those obnoxious, "You're not subscribed," blah, things. Just getting the stuff ready. We are building this bridge for future use, as well as currently a method of allowing a Forgotten Beast to go fight goblins. Or rather, allowing goblins to path, hopefully, to a Forgotten Beast. Speaking of, where is Beastie currently? In this tree? Okay. Limit 0. Yes. Most US sites just straight up boot you because they don't want to follow European privacy laws. That too, yeah. That too. Sathatos, how you doing? You know, this is something that me and my team has talked about, and this is probably not something that'll happen anytime soon. We've thrown around the idea of straight up doing video game news articles on our website. Like, we've straight up, like, thrown around the ideas of making it into, like, a micro-blog. Probably not a logical idea, but it has come up in discussion. twice now at different meetings. Currently, it just hosts a, you know, podcast, but. But how's things, Sataros? How you doing? I almost lost Long Death yesterday to a loyalty cascade. That was kind of horrifying. Lost like 5 goblins in a minute. Can we have a Long Death column here? I mean, I'm not very good at writing. I wouldn't mind the idea, but I see it as kind of unlikely. It is something that we've thrown the idea around for before, though. With guest authors. I don't think enough people care about Long Death for that to be a thing. It'd be great to see a show that reviewed video games a la Zixel and Obert. Wasn't just commercial for said video game. I don't even know what that is. I mean, I've thought about doing first impressions now that I only stream 3 days a week. Because everybody always asks me to do videos like what Splattercat does, and it's like, I could absolutely do that. It's just a matter of doing them. Makes it look dead based on the IP? What do you mean by look dead? Like it doesn't let you view the site? I don't believe I've ever encountered that. How did it start? Dwarf tantrumed and attacked his mom, and that dwarf's mom happened to have 8 lovers and a husband in the fort, so 9 lovers total. And then three of the lovers attacked the kid, and then one of them killed the kid's mom, because when he killed the kid, the mom then attacked him. So the 2 lovers then killed each other, basically. They both died, and then everything just kind of exploded. And then I figured out which one was the last one that was still going aggro and trying to attack things, and I banished them from the fort, and it ended. But we had 5 casualties in the process. It was a bit awkward for the father. He's still alive, ironically. I don't know. Dwarves seem to have pretty healthy, open relationships, so I'm sure it was fine. Oh, fuck, a Doctor's Guild Hall? Really? The Guild of Pondering now has many members in Mothfall and requires a guild hall. Sure. I think I already actually have a Doctor's Guild Hall. Hold on. Yeah, I absolutely do. A Glass of Meditating. Already is a Doctor's Guild Hall, so basically I just need to put more shit in here. Yeah, the Guild of Pondering. So I guess, put some tables back here. Let's put 2 coffers in there. How's that? See how that does. I'm more worried about the bridge I'm constructing right now than that. But you like the colors? Every single layer that you see is like 1 layer of Minecraft blocks. This is a river. It's a layer above, 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 above. The blue that you see is open space, kind of similar to like a PS2 game when you're playing like, and all you see is like fog everywhere and mist. And then these little guys running around are dwarves. And there's workshops in the middle. There's stockpiles that are the weird square things. The letters that are in those spots that are sometimes flickering are livestock. That's all clothing up there. This is a lovely forest with trees. It's actually quite simple once you stare at it for a little bit. The thing is, a lot of people go, ah, strange, and then they vanish. And, of course, then you can read the combat logs where you have, like, you know. Well, these are dwarves training, so it's Hammer Dwarf attacks the Hammer Lord, but she jumps away. Yeah, there's also that. Dwarf Fortress becomes a lot easier to comprehend when you play it for a little bit. It really is, and I made it more complicated because I added in a second waterfall over here. I redirected it up top. So the river flows this way as well. This flow to the right was one that I did, and then it flows over the edge here. So I wanted a moat. Quite happy with it though. Who was last watching the stream? I mean, I could fact check that. Maybe you've lurked since then, but what brings you back today? Because you said earlier that sadness summons you. What made you feel a strong, powerful vibe of sadness that made you feel summoned? Gypsy magic? Man. Now I need to listen to more Go Go Bordello, thanks. Some magic that stole a Russian tank. That article the other day about Ukrainian farmers blowing up a bridge and taking out a bunch of Russian armor in the process just kind of made me happy. It's like not only are Ukrainian farmers taking on the Russian forces and stealing their hardware constantly, but now they've like straight up just got their own battalion. It's kind of fantastic. Wait, what? That is the most weird flex but okay moment I've seen in a minute. There were a few times when sites became unreachable because it is just down for everyone. For you, the sites showed their status as up, but you couldn't figure out why, even though I tried different VPNs, and it wasn't until I had a hinge IRC, the Korean VPN specifically, that the site loaded. In other cases, it was a Chinese. Oh, really? Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I use VPNs and stuff like that pretty liberally, but I don't think I've ever actually run into that issue of sites just refusing to load because I was in the wrong region, in air quotes. That is a little odd. Literally just waiting for this bridge to be built. Sounds like dwarven. Sights showed, shites sewed, whatever. Fucking English sucks. Screw this goddamn language. Oh, also, 2 Pro. I don't know if you know this about this game, but it is free. There is that. That is, like, kind of the most important thing about this game that sometimes people forget to mention is that it is actually just free. Oh, hey, the goblins. They are resurfacing. My forgotten beast friend is still in the tree. Well, they haven't started coming out yet. Maybe they're going after the ostrich cocks. Why that blob likes trees? I think it just keeps getting stuck in them. Well, I mean, you can give them money for it if you want to. It's optional. Title sets? Is this like a title fight? I mean, this is a tile set that you're watching right now. I would like to see a title fight for the tile sets. Someone should, like, set up a gladiator tournament like that where every single different character in the gladiator tournament is a different tile set. This is perfectly comprehensible. Significantly easier to look at than ASCII. Come on. Like, literal walls look like walls, and dwarves look like dwarves. I only have to explain what half of the animals are instead of all of them. This is a tile set, yeah. This isn't what the game looks like in vanilla. This is not ASCII. Mm-hmm. ASCII is a tile set. Also, Dwarf Fortress isn't even real ASCII. Dwarf Fortress is fake ASCII. It uses PNG images of sprites that look like ASCII. Dwarf Fortress is just ASCII because Tarn and Zach Adams don't have any drawing skills. Although, I will argue that their crayon drawings are beautiful. I can see mine from here. I like Lonesome. Lonesome's nice looking. Although I don't use Lonesome because I'm lonesome enough in my day-to-day without having tile sets called that, you know? You headed to bed, Stone? You're headed to bed now. Odds are quite good I'll still be on when you wake up. Or are you not headed to bed? The construction finished? Nope. All the dark blocks are still being built. It's unfortunately kind of an out-of-the-way spot. That's taken a while. Also, wouldn't this game be you have like 5 spreadsheets and open one of them? Nope, just this. You can do that if you want, but I don't recommend anybody play the game that way, especially if you're new to the game. Some people do. I think those people are incorrect. Because it certainly doesn't make the game easier to play or more pleasant to play. The vanilla game is just this. No extra windows or anything silly. The problem is a lot of people install the starter pack when they first start playing. Starter pack is great, but it's like playing Feed the Beast Extreme for the first time when you played Minecraft for the first time instead of just playing vanilla for a couple hours first. Hey, cutest. You doing, Knight? Surviving? That's what I want. Sorry, what? It's a brand new hat from 20 minutes ago. Literally fresh off the, I don't know, carving block? How is the cat? Cat is doing his best loaf of bread impression on the floor next to me right now. And didn't let me sleep much last night. He kept trying to eat my hair. So that wasn't very nice of him. Shit. What is that? It's a dragonfly. Cool. Yeah, Cat refused to let me sleep properly last night. But by the time he finally let me sleep, it was all right. We are currently under siege, and there's 300 some odd goblins and beak dogs and trolls on the map. Have I tried not having delicious hair? I don't think it's delicious. Nah, some people just like pain. Amateur player. You're not wrong. Everybody's entitled to play this game completely differently. It's fine. I feel like DF as an RPG needs to be put somewhere in the menu so that people stop sweating and min-maxing. Yes, that too. DF is a simulation role-playing game. Not a min-maxing tower defense game, like a lot of games that are inspired by DF are. All right, so now I need to do both of those really quick. And then when those are done, we have to lock ourselves back inside because all of a sudden the goblins have access to where the Forgotten Beast is. And this took us 3 months in game to build, just for reference. Game is now saving because the hot season has arrived. It is now summer. My hair looks delicious. Oh, thank you. I mean, sometimes I have to, you know, let the hair be free. Sometimes. Not very often, though. There's kind of a lot of it. Maybe my hair smells like weed. It smells like Head and Shoulders, actually. My apartment actually doesn't smell like weed at all. And that's not even like me being a stoner and not realizing my apartment stinks. Vaping weed doesn't smell at all. So there is like no scent that comes out in that type. Or there is none of that going on in my apartment. You wouldn't smell it at all. All right, dwarves are coming with all the blocks. Let's see who's going where. You can vape weed. Yep, it's called a dry herb vaporizer. You know how like you can put cookies in the oven and then your whole house smells like cookies? Well, what if you had a very, very, very tiny oven to put a very, very small bit of cookie into it, and then you could just inhale cookie scent whenever you want? It's basically that, except with cannabis. So you can have a very small dosage capsule of cannabis in your pocket, and then inhale that instead of setting it on fire, which is what causes the stench. Also, when you set cannabis on fire, it burns 60 to 70% of the cannabinoids, which is what actually goes into your brain and makes you feel high. So you actually get higher dosage rates out of a smaller amount of weed from vaping it instead of the alternative. Fuck, the brewer's been found dead. I have no idea how you got down there so quickly, but one of my dwarves just was discovered as dead, so trying to lock all these guys back inside. Although my actual population count didn't go down, so I have a feeling... Where's our blob friend at? Still in the tree. Okay, well. Pull the lever, Dwarf. You don't think it's legal there? Well, it's legal in Canada, where I live. How do your head and shoulders smell then? Like the shampoo, you twit? Actually, technically, right now, my hair smells like Dove Men plus dandruff control. The rest of the time, it smells like Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders is a bit intense and tends to make my scalp itch, so I'm not a huge fan of it. But I use it when I need it. Generally, I use the other one. This is now a hair care routine stream. Yeah, it looks like the goblins are heading back up the stairs. Well, that's a good sign. Holy shit. There's a lot of goblins pathing out. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of Head and Shoulders. I use my Head and Shoulders maybe once every 3 weeks. The rest of the time, I like actually don't wash. I don't wash my hair all that often. I wash my hair maybe once a week. I use Head and Shoulders maybe once a month or so. Then the rest of the time I use Dove Men. The problem with my Dove shampoo though is it does actually have caffeine in it for some fucking reason. I missed that on the bottle. So if I use it in the evening, I can't fucking fall asleep afterwards. I don't know why that's a thing, but it's a thing. That's a lot of G and a lot of B. The Bs are beak dogs, which are like weird tremor birds critters that are kind of grotesque and fleshy. And the goblins are, well, goblins. Small creatures that are green and sometimes gray and prone to scum and villainy. But they're actually quite kind creatures at heart that have very confused values. The issue is they are controlled by demons, which allow for legal murder and will behead them if they make a mistake. So it's a rough life to be a goblin. But it appears that the goblins are actually doing what I need them to do and going for the big guys. So. Bump anti-dandruff seemed cool to you. I've no idea what that is. Oh, never mind. The siege is actually just over. Well, that's a bummer. They're just leaving. Huh. I wonder why. Weird. I need you guys to kill that sludge monster, please. Not, you know, leave. I don't have any defenses, really. I just have 9, 10, and 5 dwarves in squads. We just have walls currently. And then I have this capital B over here who's being a bit of a bother. Oh no! Did that say cave blob? No. They're being scared by something. Oh, an ostrich. Well, that checks out. Well, the ostrich took something's arm off, but now it seems like the beak dog is murdering the ostrich. The ostrich cock attacks the beak dog, but he jumps away. The beak dog bites the ostrich cock in the left wing, tearing the fat. The beast dog bites the ostrich cock in the upper body, tearing the muscle. The beak dog scratches the ostrich cock around by the upper body, tearing apart the upper body's fat. The ostrich cock misses the beak dog. The beak dog shakes the ostrich cock around by the upper body, tearing apart the upper body's fat. Is this a reference to something that I don't understand? All right, well, this, I think, is the tree that our guy here is standing on. So I'm going to do a thing. That is kind of silly. Oh, there's the dead minotaur. Where was that square? Okay. It's right there. So. Let's do a silly and see if this works. So currently, oh, now it's moving. Dude. Oh, hey, look, there's a goblin and a beak dog. Oh, hey, never mind. Some goblins are actually attacking the forgot. Okay, hold on. Stop. Pause. Just pause. Just hold the fucking phone. Let's just set this all as a marker. Or rather, now, so I'll just remove it. Just get rid of all of this. Because currently I don't actually need any of it because our beastie here is actually getting attacked by some goblins. Oh, and that jumps back in the tree. Well, all right, so there's... What? Forgotten Beast, the Forgotten Beast... Chat, tell me what just happened. Read that text and you tell me. Someone here can probably logically figure out what happened here just by looking at that. I know what happened because I saw it happen. And I know it just, yep. No, it bumped into something and exploded. Yep, it slipped, yep. It was throwing its extract, and it killed a goblin. It killed a beak dog. The Forgotten Beast jumps out of the Maceman's flight path. the Forgotten Beast jumped out of the way of a flying goblin because there was a goblin in midair jumping at it, trying to hit it. And then it slammed into a tree or the ground, one of the two, and its body took the full force of the impact, and it fractured and is now literally just, let's see, actually, is it considered dead or missing? I'm curious. Okay, yeah, it is deceased. It is officially deceased. Considering it killed 10 plus dwarves. Motherfucker. Although it probably actually gets the last laugh because this beak dog is in shambles and this one's winded and this goblin's all like, yo guys, what the fuck happened to you? Man, the hell? Holy shit. The fuck? Anyway, I'm going home. Bye. And then he runs. Don't blame him. This is like the time that we got attacked by a giant... Oh, see? That beak dog died. Let's see. Do you die? This is like the time that I had a forgotten... Oh, see? He died too. I had a forgotten beast that was composed of fire that died because it walked past a tree. The tree caught fire, and there was a log in the tree, and the tree catching fire caused the leaves to catch fire, which made the log fall, and the process of the log falling landed on the forgotten beast, and the forgotten beast just vanished. Like a log hit it, and it just went thump and crushed it and died. So after it killed like 2/3 of my fort, by the way, it just walked past a tree and vanished. All right, well, we can let the rest of the invaders leave now. Mud killed mud? Yeah. Depends on how thick your hair is. If you don't have super thick hair, then you can get away without combing or brushing. If I go 2 days without combing or brushing, my hair gets so matted it becomes unpleasant. These trolls destroyed my doors. Fucking trolls. All right, well, let's, now that that's issue is dealt with, a human caravan has arrived, apparently, but just hold on a second. I haven't opened the doors yet, guys. We can open the door and go down here and open the other door. If you don't comb for a day or two, you look like you have dreads. I don't quite look like I have dreads. Like, it's not that bad, but if I don't comb for a day or two, it becomes unpleasant, and I start to just look like a monster. If that makes any sense. Like, I start to look like a metalhead who doesn't take care of himself instead of a metalhead who takes care of himself. All right, well, the dwarves get to be released into the outer worlds now, so let's see where they all head. You just let it sort itself out somehow. Yeah, I mean, like, if you don't have super thick hair, like, my hair is actually really curly when it's short. Although, I haven't had my hair short in about a decade, so. But when my hair is short, it's quite curly and very wavy. And very, very, very thick. So because of that, I kind of, you know, need to take care of it. Would agree. Meow, what up? Want to see the old man? All right. Come here, old man. He's 21 years old. This is the old twit who was eating my hair last night. I think he was just eating my hair because he was trying to wake me up to feed him, which is what I did. A cat that's older than some members of this Twitch's chat. Who also clearly doesn't want to be on my lap right now. He just wants to meow at me from a safe distance. I think it is time for me to feed this kitty cat again. I will be back in a couple of minutes. You guys can watch this dwarf running around. Won't be gone too... Oh, hold up. On behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me extend my greetings to your people. There's much to discuss. The world is the same as ever. We updated your maps. Yes. Yes. Okay. I will be back in a sec. Once this is all done. No. He is fed exclusively raw kangaroo meat and bison intestines and bison internal organs. So literally it's bison organs and kangaroo meat are the two ingredients on his raw food. Quite happy with his food. Asto says, on behalf of the Merchants Guild, let me bid farewell to you and your stout dwarves. Okay, I will be right back. All right, I return. Also, I do wonder about that cat, amateur player, the cream puff cat. Because, like, yes, that cat allegedly lived for 38 years, but also, I have several questions. Like, did that cat live for 38 years, or did you have 3 cats in 38 years that looked almost identical with the same name? Because there's not a lot of pictures of that cat. I do wonder. It's like, I question the legitimacy of Crim Puff. It is a good story, though. I will admit that. What are you doing? Dumping it? Okay. Brewing drinks. We've got plenty of jobs up and running. And I can go back to making more bedrooms. As I, you know, made like 100-something beds. Might as well get the rest of these bedrooms built. Can also turn off job cancellation mutes. It's really bad. Do not give alcohol to your dog or cat. That is animal abuse. Also, for that matter, don't give cream or milk to your cat. It's really, 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 really bad for their internal organs. Although the best cat is my neighbor's cat. My neighbor who lives across the way has a cat who is paralyzed from the shoulder blades down. So shoulder blades to the back of his bum. So he only has control over his front 2 paws, kind of. So he's a paralyzed cat due to having a previously abusive home. And my neighbor is his caregiver and caretaker. It is a very cute, large tomcat, but the funny thing about it is even though he has no function in his back legs whatsoever, can't move his tail, and, like, has no control over what the back half of his body does and needs help pooping, all of that, still tries to pick fights with other cats in the yard area behind my building. It's very funny. He'll, like he can only go outside when my neighbor's outside with him. So he's, like, got him in this weird, like, sling thing, because they tried to put him into a wheelchair, but he, like, cat no likey wheelchair. So they put him in this weird sling solution, and he, like, follows him around. And this cat will just, like, waltz right up to the nearest other cat outside and hiss at it and start batting at it. The other cats are like, why are you? And he's just like, meh! Just, like, jumping at them, trying to start cat fights. And the other cat's just, like, walking away slowly. What am I looking at here? A very funny cat. I've asked if I could take photos of him, but my neighbor's like, I don't really want him to kind of turn into a TikTok sensation. I'm like, yeah, I understand that concern. So, respect for that. I kind of respect not wanting your pet to become a internet meme, you know? Nice neighbor. Yeah, he's a good dude. I think my neighbor would probably be Pink Fluffy Llama in chat's hero if she knew him. Or if they knew him. Because, he's this... How do I explain it? He raises, breeds, and sells and trades rare plants. Which is kind of amazing. Hey, Trench Dog, welcome back. Hope your day is well. Doing your freelance stuff right now? Gotcha. Similar to yesterday, I assume? Recording and script writing? Like, as in, like, movie script writing? Or, like, story script writing? Seems fun. Super duper duper screwed up something. Which isn't a huge screw up or anything, but I told them to pull this lever. Just tell them to do it now. I told them to pull that lever, and I also need to tell them to pull this lever. The problem is, they didn't do that early enough, so they can't actually leave out of the normal door, so they have to take the long way. Trading is taking way longer so far. I invite my trader over to the depot. 3 days off locally per week. Then you work 4 days of scripts, stories, and dialogue. For voice acting? Oh shit, cool. Do you do voice acting yourself, or do you just work in scripting? All right, looks like Cussy is coming to pull the lever. Oh, neat. Anything I've seen? You don't need to dox yourself if you don't want to. I thought I read that as my biggest problem right now is negative atmosphere. I was like, oh no, what's so negative about the atmosphere? Oh wait, okay, I misread that. Biggest project, I got you. Mordhau, yeah, I'm familiar with Mordhau. By that, I mean, I think I played it on a free weekend when I ran around with a lute and played the Doom theme. It's literally, I literally just went and found a MIDI of Doom and then just went dead. That was my experience, was take 10 steps, die while playing Doom. It was a good time. So your various or in that, I'm assuming. Because I'm pretty sure that's all of the voice acting in that. It's just various levels and voices of screaming. Well, that's awesome. Fuck yeah, dude. So that must have been a fun gig. That and Commands, yeah. Well, obviously there's other things, but there's a lot of There's a lot of nonsensical screaming in that game. Small amounts of alcohol can be good for humans. You okay, cat? Walked over here and then just sprinted over to the window. Weird. I've had one voice acting gig in my life, and it was really neat that I got to do it. Some migrants have arrived despite the danger. Well, they're there. Stinthad, I remember you. You're from the last fort, I think. Yeah, you were. Oh, he found one of my hair ties. Okay, well, cat's playing. That's good. Maybe an old man, but he's still capable of playing. Hey, we got a duckling and a gosling. No, the gosling is not named Ryan before somebody asks. Alcohol alcohol in small amounts can be good for your heart, but alcohol in large amounts can be terrible for you. Everything in moderation, as they say. You cannot name animals. Dwarves name animals. Also, that goose already has a name. You're welcome to nickname him Ryan, though, if you want. That is factually incorrect. Alcohol is a depressant, and in medium to large amounts, actively impacts the mood of a person, especially as the poison of alcohol fades. It's then often replaced by fits of depression, and in my case, suicidal tendencies. I do quite like a lot of booze. I really like vodka. I'm quite fond of beer, especially fancy beer. Big fan of whiskey, but only in small, reasonable amounts. It's not a funny joke. Ew. In fact, the most suicidal I've ever felt in my entire life is after a drink too many on a bad day. Do a lot of aggressive and violent voice acting. It's your niche. Oh, I gotcha. The only substance you do these days? The only substance I do in larger amounts is marijuana. Because marijuana just numbs my brain and removes all of the negatives that my brain has normally. Whereas alcohol, while fun and delicious, and I do quite enjoy filling up my growler and having beers, or going to a craft brewery, is something I try and keep in moderation. Be very careful about the amount of alcohol that I consume. If I'm not, it can go bad. So we're selling all of our used clothing to the humans. Also, because they updated my maps, I need to check. Hotbeards is still doing okay. I really wish that I could have a it says that they've marched on Hotbeards. I really wish that I could send my army in defense. Also, I do think it's kind of funny that the line walks right over. I wonder if that army that attacked us was actually these guys that are attacking Hotbeards that walked through here, got kind of stuck here, didn't realize there was a fort here, ran into the caverns, got lost, came back up and out, got attacked by a Forgotten Beast, and then attacked Hotbeards. That's probably not the way the game's processing it, but that's it in my headcanon. Well, see, paranoia can be a side effect of weed, but paranoia isn't depression. Paranoia and depression are two different effects. Paranoia is like more attached to anxiety, whereas depression is not. But yeah, I mean, moderation with everything. Everybody has the amount of a thing that you can have, right? Like, as an example, it's probably the THC that is causing paranoia, and that's something that you can build up a tolerance to. It's just like if you don't drink for a really long time and then you have a glass of whiskey and you're like, wow, I'm tipsy. It's kind of like that. So if you're having more THC than you can handle and you're not used to having THC, then naturally if you suddenly ingest a bunch of THC, it's going to fuck with you a bit. I can have, so to give you an idea, I went to a concert a little while ago with a friend of mine and another friend of mine, and me and my two friends, right? Friend number one had about half a joint outside. I had 2, and my other friend had 1. We go back inside. Me and my friend that had half a joint are totally fine, and the guy that we were with was just like unable to stand up. He was so high. Everything affects people differently, right? And we all have our tolerances and what we can handle. If you have too much of anything, it's probably going to be a negative, whether it's alcohol or weed or any other substance. My assumption here, based on what you're stating, is you just have a much higher alcohol tolerance than you do a tolerance to THC, which can cause some pretty fucking negative effects. THC and CBD help me a lot mentally, but they're certainly not perfect substances, and they absolutely do cause problems in people. Not quite ready to trade again because I need my trader to come back, who's currently drinking. Biggest problem with babysitting this cat is I can't allow him to go outside. He wants to go outside right now. The weather is nice. I wish it was raining so he wouldn't bother me to go outside. If it was raining, he'd just look outside and be like, ugh. I'll chin scratch him until he bites me. I don't like children, so I don't think that would go very well. Exclamation point tickets is what you're looking for. Someone watches user-controlled RimWorld. How unfortunate. They bring any books? Is that called animal dissecting the easy way? More animal societies. Self-examination might help. Life with the lever. Life with the lever's a good name. Dissection and other travesties. Dissection the easy way. These are good book names. I like these. And just some generic codexes. I kind of wish I could afford all these, but I'm realizing very quickly that I can't. I want life with the lever, but I don't have the money for it. I want life with the lever so bad that I'm going to not buy it, unfortunately. Or am I going to buy that one? We'll just buy these three. Nope. Too expensive. There we go. Turn my font back on. Those were all codexes. It would state specifically that it's a scroll if it was a scroll. Yeah, we're placing all these chests. We have doors. Yes. But yeah, I also mentioned earlier, the one voice acting gig I've gotten in my life was I am in the DLC. I am in a free DLC for a game called Unmetal. There is a free DLC, which is just Content Creator Voice Pack DLC, which I am in. Would I ever do more voice work if people are stupid enough to pay me for it? Why not? I have all of the audio. I have all of the gear set up to do it. The thing about streamers is we literally have everything that we need in our house, usually. Like, I'm in a sound studio right now. Like, I have everything that I need to do voice acting. The thing is, nobody wants to pay us for it. Sure. I wouldn't say no. I'm hardly a celebrity voice actor, and there's definitely people more talented in the trade than me, but... And I don't have a demo or anything, but... Like, I don't have a demo reel. But... Because they see your audio gear? You're an enthusiast, I think. I actually don't know. Have you ever... I mean, you have a YouTube channel, so you could technically say that you're a YouTuber. Casual YouTuber. Well, I'll say this. Myself and basically my entire stream team are all very interested in voice acting work because it's like, we have all of the gear. It's just a matter of getting the experience. Casual YouTuber? Lots of people are casual YouTubers. Being a casual YouTuber is a great hobby. That's where your roots were. I feel like, kind of like a lot of industries, you start off as a hobbyist. We need wood, barrel. I could make rock pots, but I'm going with barrels. As a Twitcher, but then people will just think that I sit in my room and do cocaine all day. Which, by the way, that's what a Twitcher is. I'm a creator. I'm an entertainer. PM you on Discord if you're inclined. Noted. I mean, I need reasons to shout into my microphone that aren't streaming because my neighbors above me are very annoying, so. The person I keep trying to get into voice acting is my little sister's boyfriend. He's a full-time opera singer. And has very, very talented vocal cords, I'll put it that way. always just like kind of amazed that, oh shit, we got a new mayor. Export of shields are not allowed. I mean, I hung around a lot of Twitchers when I was homeless, so very familiar with those folk. But then again, I try and convince him to stream and do other things as well as make YouTube videos. All right, Mayor House lodgings have been moved over. What, sing? I mean, I can't do... Well, I was in a musical, 3 musicals, but that was so long ago that feels like a different lifetime. Feels like a lifetime ago. Kitty cat, can you please stop meowing at me? It's very annoying. Head, your poop box is clean. Petting you on the head. I can put you back up on my lap, but if you jump down... Sing stream when? Next life. I haven't done any... Okay, he just jumped right down. I haven't done any singing since before my voice dropped, so... Like I said, it feels like a different life. Or actually, there's plenty of singing streams going on in the music directory on Twitch right now, most likely, so just go watch one of them if you want that kind of content. I don't provide that kind of content. Just like there's plenty of people that show ass on stream all the time. And you know what? You can go watch that kind of content on different websites, but you're not going to get that kind of content from me. Same. Which is my other way of saying it will never happen. Supro. I mean, I'll hum occasionally or mumble. But there's a very big difference between doing that and doing an entire stream dedicated to rehearsed singing. Which is what this memer in chat here just requested, and I just said no. Will I ever do a stream dedicated to nothing but singing? No. So don't you go telling me what is false. Granite blocks. We can go back to building our housing. You know, whenever these kinds of conversations start happening, Supro, I just remind people that if you pester, you get annoying. If you get annoying, you get timed out. Well, it requires a stream of water to fill a bath. Tygo. Yeah, I have to disable DMs from people that aren't in the same server as me. Otherwise, I just get... Because I am the mod of a partnered server and I own a partnered server on Discord, which is the equivalent of saying, every single motherfucker on this entire goddamn planet spam me right now, in Discord speak. So I either have the option of getting 30 DMs a day asking for my servers, or I can just block them. So if you want to DM me, you have to join my Discord server. And then I can DM you. Although I think you can just DM me if you're in my Discord server. You have to share a server. I don't see you here and I just searched your name, so... Unless you have a different name on Discord. But yes, I get a ridiculous amount of spam. Basically, if you ask for something, even if it's a joke, and I say no, and then you just keep asking for variations of that same thing, eventually I'm just going to time you out because I don't care to listen to that kind of thing, is what it means. Super pro. Not your intention to pester? Okay, well, if you ask somebody for something and they say no, take no as an answer. Don't just keep rewording the same thing over and over and over, because that's called pestering. If you're in the same server as me, you should be able to DM me. But only if you're in the same server as me. I still get DMs from people from time to time asking for my Discord servers. Sometimes they ask for servers that I don't even have any control over, which is very strange to me. I had somebody the other day ask me if I could give them the KitFox server, which I was very confused about. I'm like, I'm not even a fucking mod here. What? You did go bowling? Oh, did you skip out on paintball? You'll have to ask Tanya that one. But literally, like, somebody DM'd me and they were like, you seem like an important member of... Screenshot of KitFox's server. Do you think that you could get them to transfer ownership to me? I will pay them well. I was like, what? This is like when someone alleged that they would offer me Bitcoins for my Discord server. They're like, I will give you Bitcoins. Like, uh-huh. How about you give me payment first and I'll give you server later? I will give Bitcoins. No, you fucking won't. I'll just keep my Discord server, thanks. Paintball place was closed. Ah, boo. How was bowling, though? Probably better than getting shot, you know? Yeah, I don't see you in any of the server lists. Or I would shoot you a DM. But here, I'll do this. At server limit ATM, would have to sacrifice one of them. Ah. Well, I mean, you could send me an email. My email's in my Twitter. Or you can DM me on Twitter if you have that. Ironically, my DMs are public on Twitter. Although I don't look at them super duper duper often. Yeah, I intentionally keep my Discord servers to a minimum. I'm only in 12 Discord servers right now. My opinion on country music? There isn't a lot of good country music. That is my opinion on country music. I like good music, and there isn't a lot of good country music. Kind of my same opinion on pop music. There isn't a lot of good pop music. When you're thinking about leaving a couple, please don't leave mine, sad face. Let me guess. Mine, my second Discord server, and AKA Mike B are at least 3 of them, right? Unless you're not in Mike's. Uh-oh. What the fuck are those? Oh, sparrow people. Huh. We are, being dive bombed by Birdman. Fascinating. That would be a fun adventurer crew, actually. Just a bunch of sparrow people and just fly into the world. That should be pretty fun. Not be a bad idea. But yeah, Twitter DMs or email is probably the best way to get in contact with me. Or you could try to add me as a friend on Discord, French Dog. Here, I'll do this. Because then you'd be able to DM me. Give me a second. I'll just DM you my Discord name and you can add me. There you go. Twitch DMs are a mess. I have 99 plus unread DMs on Twitch right now. Most of them are spams, so I like never check Twitch DMs. It's amazing what having a verified badge on Twitch does to your DMs. Well, that's just from the time that I set it. So before I set it to them or me needing to DM people first. After I moved it to that, I started getting less, but I still get quite a few. All right, the humans are leaving. They're happy with the trades, at least I hope. Are there any? All right, I'll wait until they're off the map. Yep, I see it. I'm much better at keeping up with Discord friend requests. What are we doing on bed counts? Okay, so anybody with a green name doesn't have a bed. They should eventually just claim a bed, but some dwarves will just never claim a bed. Not everybody? Ooh, almost. You military dwarves that don't have beds? Now's a good time to go smack the bads. Okay, well, according to the news, these guys are marching on Hotbeards. So, who are these guys? Goblin Fortress, who we're at war with. The Fly of Affection. Dark Goblin Fortress of Seduce Downed. And they have 3 artifacts.